How to Get Over Fear of Rejection. Hi, my name is Dr. Meghana Dikshit. I'm the author of the book You Matter and Brain and Performance Expert. Before we dive in the subject, please subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so that you receive new video on the personal development every week in your inbox. So let's dive deeper now to understand fear of rejection. A lot of you have connected with me and suggested this topic, that you wanted me to do this video to understand where the fear of rejection is coming from and how can you work on this. So let's dive deeper now on this topic. Let's first understand that fear of rejection is very common and every person has this fear. Now at the scale of 1 to 10, each one of us may have a different degree of this fear. If it is below 5, then those people are dealing with this fear in a much better way and they are still putting themselves in a situation where even if the rejection comes, it's okay. But if some people, those who are beyond 5, in between 5 to 10, there's a possibility that that fear is debilitating you and not allowing you to take certain action. And it is creating more and more limitations in your life. Fear of rejection comes along with low self-esteem, low self-worth, and the low self-image. Now, to understand the fear of rejection, you got to understand a little bit about the human psychology. Every human being is wired to seek appreciation, to seek validation, to seek recognition. It's in our DNA. When you get right kind of an appreciation, recognition, and validation, we thrive in the physical and psychological space. And it's very essential for all the human beings, right from the babies. Because every baby is looking for the appreciation and validation from their parents. Now look at it, when you start walking and when you fall down, imagine if you would have, your parents would have criticized you instead of appreciating and clapping and saying, hey, you can do it. You could probably never have walked with that criticism. Each one of us seek that validation and appreciation, and understanding this point. So understanding this, now you got to understand and figure out for yourself, where do you stand at the scale of 1 to 10 on fear of rejection. And once you've identified where you are, you let me know in the chat box, what's your number? At the scale of 1 to 10, what is your number? Right now, put it in the comment section and let me know. Now see, each one of us have to understand this. The fear of rejection, when that is ingrained in our space, what happens in our spaces, if it's too much to handle, we start developing the cope-up mechanism. The fear itself is a cope-up mechanism for us to not be authentic. Because the moment you are yourself, people are not going to accept it. And because you feel that people are not going to accept it, you start putting mask over yourself and this fear pops up. Where you feel that, if I'm my authentic self, I will not be liked. And the moment that thought comes, you start reducing your self-image and your self-esteem and your self-worth. Most common causes of fear of rejection is, early childhood experiences, when your parent or parent figures that they did not understand this need in you. Maybe they were not able to give you this, or maybe, for whatever their ignorance or whatever their understanding, they could not, the primary caregivers could not give you the appreciation and recognition. Or the parents lacked the understanding and ability, the parenting style. It could also be your grandparents, it could also be the teacher or the sibling who kept on rejecting you for who you are, and that kind of developed the mechanism that I can't be myself. The moment I'm myself, people don't like me. Or there is a possibility that you went through a very traumatic experience, like maybe a loss of a parent or maybe abandonment. Or maybe also in your case, some of your cases, it could be physical disabilities or some sort of a challenge, or maybe bullying or ridiculing or humiliation as a child. All of these early childhood experiences start creating the cope-up mechanism in your space that, if I put myself in this situation, if I go and face that stage, people may not like me. People will ridicule me. They will bully me. They will not accept me. They will kind of say some things to me. People are mean. And all of this starts developing slowly in your space, where you experience the hostility outside. and you start feeling that the world is not a safe place, and if I am myself, I will not be accepted. So might as well, either you turn into a very hostile person yourself, who's rejecting left, right, center to other people and are fearing the commitment, or you become a very submissive, docile person who's not coming out and not really making an impact in the world because you feel the fear that if I do it again, I'm going to get reprimanded for this action. Which one is for you? First one or second one? You know that it's not working. Let me know in the comment box so that I can give you a specific solution for the behavior that you want to change in your life. Let me know what is the behavior that is driven because of fear of rejection. What opportunities do you deny by saying that I'm not ready? What opportunities you self-sabotage by being more aggressive or being more passive about it? Let me know in the chat box what has happened in the past that has given you this fear. Is there a specific incident in your life? Let me share my specific incident with you. When I was 8-year-old and when I was standing on a stage, and when I wanted to share some things, my views, my opinions, and there was a speech that I had learned. The moment I saw the whole school in front of me, hundreds of students looking at me with expectation, I froze. And in that moment, children are sometimes brutal at that age. They just laughed. Everybody just laughed at me. And in that moment, somewhere deep down, that younger Meghna made a decision that I'm never, ever, ever going to go in front of the people like this and talk. It's not safe place for me to do the presentations, to go and talk to people. And that eventually led me into hampering my many opportunities. I would not, really go market myself. I would not really sell myself, my products, my services. I would just and my business collapsed. That fear of rejection was so overpowering in my space that I could not really make a point, could not really express my views and my true feelings. And that actually impacted a lot of my relationships. I expected people to understand me without me expressing. And that really created havoc in my personal relationships, my professional relationships. It reduced my self-esteem and self-worth. So I was compromising in my business, where I was allowing people to negotiate and haggle for the prices because I didn't feel that I deserve it. It impacted my money situations. You can see that one fear streamlined into so many areas of my life and created such problems in my life. It's only when I started understanding the deeper impacts of that fear and only started understanding that event that happened in my life, I started slowly working on that event. And today here I am in front of you. Even if I make a mistake or two, I don't care. I know I'm a human being, and if I make a mistake, even if somebody laughs at me, it's fine. So I'm making these videos every single day and I'm getting better at it every single time. You can see it. It's because I worked on my fear of rejection. And every person who's successful on the planet, they say it or no, they all have worked on it. Look at Lady Gaga. She was actually teased, bullied, and she had a Facebook page of her, classmates, those who had said that she's never going to be successful. Instead of feeling rejected, look where she has reached. And probably none of those classmates are now a known figure like her. There are examples in the history, in the present, that people have dealt with this fear constructively and overcome them and have created a better life for themselves. So do not feel dejected. Even if whatever has happened in the past, if you work through this fear well, you can rise up in your life. Let me know in the comment box how this fear governed your life. Which part of your life it is affecting the most? Is it your personal relationships? Is it your professional relationships? How is it impacting your career? How are you not able to express your views and opinions when it matters the most? And the opportunities go to your colleagues, and then you feel, extremely angry or regretful of not opening up your mouth. How does it impact your business? Or how does it impact your health? What exactly is happening in your space? How does it impact your creativity? Look at all your areas of life and see how this fear of rejection is going deeper and creating that impact in your space. Let's start working on that fear one step at a time. So the first thing that you need to do to overcome this fear of rejection is accept it. Yes, a lot of times people deny it. The moment you are supposed to give an interview, or maybe you are going for a party or a social gathering, if this fear comes up, that fear comes up because you fear that people may not like you. And in that moment, a person who has got fear of rejection starts berating themselves, starts punishing themselves with a lot of negative self-talk, and starts saying that you're not normal, there's something wrong with you, there is, you are someone who's like this and you are someone who's like that, you will never be successful. If you are going to be talking to yourself like that, it's never going to be okay. So how about accepting it? Like I said, that I accepted that I have a fear of rejection. Only when I accept it and I'm not in denial can I work through it. So which situation or which setting, which context do you feel the fear of rejection? Let me know in the comment box. Let's accept it. And when you will read the messages of other people here, you will understand that this fear is so common and you're not the only one. So the first thing is to accept it. The second thing that I want you to do, once you work on, accepting this fear, is looking at your self-talk. What kind of a self-talk do you have related to this fear? Or the judgment that you pass on yourself? A lot of times, I'm looking nice or no? Am I looking better or no? Am I talking well or no? Am I dressed up well or no? Am I able to face this or no? Things like that. Like, what kind of a judgment are you passing on yourself? What kind of conversations do you have with yourself? Develop a bank of positive conversations with yourself. Because you see, anyway, no matter what you do in your life, how much ever you're good at, somebody out there is still going to reject. Yes or no? No matter how good intentions that I have and how amazing that work I'm doing and how great results that I'm producing, every week I get at least one or two comments which are not so good. Which is okay. Because not everybody here is going to like you, and it's not supposed to be that way. It shouldn't overwhelm you if some people don't like you. But at least that person shouldn't be you. So don't be the person who doesn't like you. Become your biggest cheerleader and start clapping for yourself and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I look at myself in a positive light. Yes, that doesn't make me not look at what I need to improve on, but I do look at myself in a positive light and I start working on myself. You become your biggest cheerleader here. Third is, don't let the rejection define you. What do I mean by that? Think about it. Anytime you are in a relationship or in a conversation, somebody else is not rejecting you entirely. That person is rejecting that behavior, habit, trait in you. It could be anything. But when we make that rejection personal, we start associating everything about us to that rejection. Your boss gave you a review and said that this is something that you need to improve on. Now what you did is you took it as a personal rejection. The boss gave you the review on that role that you're playing in that job and not to you. Your spouse said something about you. You took it as a rejection. The rejection is not for the entire personality. It is for that one behavior, in one trait, one habit. How about starting to distance yourself from the rejection? Not attaching it to your personality, but to that one behavior, to that one role, to that one trait, to that one habit. When you start isolating it like this, it will be easier for you to become more objective about that rejection and start working on it. The fourth thing that I want you to understand is start becoming more confident. Confidence comes from making decisions, and decisions comes from your subconscious mind. The more you work on yourself, the more you work on your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, and your past experiences that didn't serve you much, The more you're able to let go of your past, the better it becomes to make you confident. Because suddenly your decision making changes. Your decision making doesn't come from the fear or the past, but your decision making comes from the future or the life that you want to create. The fifth is have more self-compassion. Let go of the guilt, the past mistakes, the past choices that you have made. Remember that you were at your best when you made that choice. Now when you look back, you feel it was wrong because it didn't produce the results that you wanted. But back then, the ability that you had, you made the best choice. Clap for yourself. Pat your back and say, okay, I have moved on. I have become a better person. Henceforth, I won't be making the same choice. Be more compassionate, be more patient, be more self-forgiving. Focus on self-care. And start working on part by part, letting go of that guilt and regret from the past. And the last one I want to tell you is, understand that the fear is normal. Now, when the fear comes, don't run away from it. Stay in that fear. I'm going to give you the best way to deal with that fear in that moment. You want to go for the presentation. You want to give that interview. You want to have that difficult conversation. You want to go speak to someone, give your opinion. And the fear came up. Now what? Just stay in that fear and notice in your body, where is that fear? Every emotion is in your body. It's not outside of your body, or it's not in your mind. Your body actually feels that. So you can go in your body and check, scan your body mentally and see where exactly is this fear. And the moment you experience, it could come up like a pain, it could come up like an itch, it could come up like, some sort of a sensation, cold, warmth, or some tingling, any sort of a sensation that comes up. Stay in that sensation and just focus on your breath and start breathing through that sensation. The sensation is there. Make sure that you breathe deep and huge abdominal breaths. Like, let your abdomen inflate when you're breathing and exhale through the mouth. Breathe in. It'll start cleansing your body of the toxicity that produced by that fear. Stay in that fear. Don't run away. Don't fight it back. Just stay in it. Focus on the sensation and breathe through the fear. And you'll observe in few moments, in few minutes, the fear will go away. The more you run away from it or the more you fight with it, it's going to come back. Fear is not your enemy. It is your friend. Only if you start decoding what it wants to tell you. So which of this is you're going to start using immediately? Let me know in the comment box. If this video was helpful to you, type helpful in the chat box. Make sure that you hit that like button and send this video to at least 10 people. Let's work on other people along with you. Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.